You're always talking about avatar upgrades, and that's a concept that I knew nothing about, but I really loved it, and I caught on to it after you explained it to me a few times. And that is basically just thinking about yourself almost like a game character, right? And when you're in the game and you're getting like power upgrades or strength upgrades or money upgrades or whatever,
Yes.
like you might in a video game.
Yeah.
But you're saying that we can actually do that in life, and in the way of maybe learning a new skill or learning a new language or maybe practicing something fun, whether it's surfing or something like that, and just being able to enjoy life and make yourself kind of just a better person, to put it simply, but it's not a simple concept.
Yeah.
Now, something we talked about the other day, that I thought was really fascinating was you're saying you can just give yourself a raise. Like,
Absolutely.
like money?
Money.
Okay.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
let's talk about that. So what do you mean, and how can we do something like that in the workplace?
Yeah, so people think that if you want a raise, you have to go to your boss and you have to plead with him and say, look, I've been here for this long and I'm doing a lot more than I'm paid for and I demand more money. I want $2 raise, $5 raise, this and that.
Almost like you're holding hostage the
Yeah.
boss in a way.
Yeah, like this weird ask of more,
And
you
it's
know.
like a demand.
Yeah, and
But are you giving any value?
exactly. So your boss is looking at you like, yeah, you've been here for 3 years. Yeah, you're great at your job.
Are you entitled to your raise?
Exactly.
Are you entitled
You know,
just because you've been here?
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that would, I mean, I don't know. I've seen that work a little bit, but a lot of times it doesn't. What's a better way?
Even then, even if it does, that's still just going to be a small uptick,
Right.
in the long term of things. So what I'm describing in an avatar upgrade as giving yourself a raise is every company on the planet requires customers. Your boss is almost a middleman between the customers that the company is retaining and you, the employee.
Right.
So the boss is just taking the money from the customer and then paying you a piece of that. So the way that you can, anyone, if you're working in a factory, if you're doing construction, if you're working retail, no matter what it is that you're doing, if you can go to your company and say, I want to bring more customers in, and those customers have a worth. So you can go to your boss. Let's say you do concrete, and you know, maybe it's a driveway. A driveway costs $10,000. So let's say you lay concrete, and that's your day job. You're a laborer and you pour concrete. Okay. Well, that company has a sales team that is probably canvassing door to door. They're putting out advertisements.
Or maybe they're not.
They're doing marketing. They're doing some type of effort to get new customers, you know. So, or they're not, and that's what they need.
And that's where the opening
Okay,
is.
yeah.
That's where the opportunity might be.
Exactly. So you approach your boss and you say, hey, I would like to refer more clients to our company. And no boss or owner is ever going to say, no, I don't want more customers.
Yeah, good point.
So you're going to say, for every customer that I bring in, what is that worth? You're not going to demand an amount. You're going to open the dialogue with, if I brought you 10 more customers, what is that worth?
Right.
You know, if it's a $10,000 item, then maybe there's $1,000 commission there. So you're pouring concrete during the day, working your labor hours, and then after hours, you're passing out flyers door to door.
Right.
You're hitting neighborhoods.
Right.
You know, you're doing social media videos. You're getting the word out that, hey, this is what we do. We're the best at it. And if you need this, call me.
Yeah.
And you're doing that X amount of times, you're going to get new customers.
Just mention this flyer, or just say that you saw me on social media.
That's it.
And we'll give you a great price, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And so then it becomes an investment question to the boss. Is it worth $1,000 to make $10,000? You know, and depending on the margins and all of the real
Of
numbers,
course.
yeah, I would say, yeah, I'll give you $1,000 to give me 10 every day.
Yeah.
Like I'll do that twice on Sunday. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I love that. And then another concept would be in a different type of business, or maybe you don't have the gift of sales or marketing, but those are a lot of great ideas where you could post on social media, you could hand out flyers. Just about anybody could do that. But let's say you're not that type of person, or it's a different type of business where it's not a client acquisition business. You could suggest an efficiency. So if you're working in a factory and you see an inefficiency, and this is very common where they're either in a factory or some type of a shop where there's a lot of production happening, but the boots on the ground know that these procedures, or maybe one or more procedures, is actually wasting time and wasting money. And if we just did it this way, then it would cut out 3 steps, it would cut out an hour or 2, or it would cut out a lot of cost or waste that could be occurring that the bosses that aren't on the ground don't even really know about. So you could propose an efficiency upgrade where you're saying, look, I would like to tell you how we can save 2 hours on every piece that we produce, or save $2 on something, on a certain production piece that we produce, and we produce 1,000 of them a day. Yes. And we're able to save $2 or $1 or even 50 cents. With some of these production companies or some of these manufacturing companies, even saving a nickel per item
scaled out, oh yeah,
could equal millions of dollars. So that's another way that you could give yourself a raise and say, look, I would like to share this efficiency that could save you this much. How much would that be worth to you if you had that knowledge?
Yes.
And then boom, next thing you know, you go from a laborer to a collaborator.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And it's all available. It's all there. You just have to navigate that space correctly. And whether it's, creating a more efficient process, which is going to save them X amount of dollars, or adding, customers to the list. You have to think in terms of value add.
Right.
It's not just I've been here for 3 years and I want a raise.
Right.
You have to bring more value if you want more value exchange in your pocket.
So this is all great info, and I think people can put this to use right away. But let's just hypothetically say you're in a situation where boss doesn't care, you just really can't help them in any way, and this is just a dead end for you at this particular job. Obviously, you can go get another job, but what's another way that you can give yourself a raise on your own?
Well, at any point, it's sales. it's business development. It's creating an idea.
Starting your own business.
It's starting your own business outside of those hours until maybe that side business, surpasses the revenue you're generating with the job.
My daughter has a friend in college, and she's very creative. She loves stones and crystals, and then she started to take copper and wrap them around these stones in really beautiful decorative ways, and then has started to sell those online on Etsy and different places like that.
Yeah.
And she's selling these pieces for $40 to $100 per piece, and they're flying out the door.
Love that.
So she took something that she loved. She took something that she had kind of a talent for, right? She hadn't really built up the skill, but she had the creative side of it.
Yeah.
And then gradually built up the skill to where her pieces were really coveted and people loved to buy them. So that's one of the secrets that I heard about recently, is find something that's kind of effortless to you, but also is still challenging enough to keep your interest.
Yeah.
And then make that into a business. And businesses don't start, it's not like a lottery where you win $1 million overnight. Businesses are a little slow, but if you start now, it may take you 6 months, it may take you a year, it may take you 2 years, but little by little, you'll start making your own money. And hopefully at one point, you'll have a choice to where you can say, maybe I could do this full time.
Yeah.
Maybe I built up the consistency and I don't need to do that dead-end day job anymore.
Yes.
So
there's a time and place to quit, and weigh your options and say, wow, I've been doing this in my spare time and I've done this much. What if I were to go all in on this?
Yeah.
And so
that's
there's definitely a time
in,
and place for that.
in my DJ business, I basically started it out while I was working a corporate job, working 40 to 60 hours a week. It was tough because I'd work Monday to Friday and then I'd DJ on the weekend. So for a time period, I didn't have a lot of time off.
Yeah.
But after about 5 years of doing that, it happened right at that point. The recession happened and I got laid off from a 6-figure job.
Yeah.
But I had spent my time building my business, so I didn't crash. I was able to go right into the business I'd been working on, and I actually haven't had a job since then. It's been well over a decade, but
yeah.
it was because I started to work my own business while I was doing this day job. So I was giving myself a raise inadvertently. So
Yes.
I
Yeah,
love
man.
it. There's a lot of ways to give yourself a raise, and you can start today.
Yeah, there's no excuses anymore. So.